What's up guys, it's Corey Wagner, and today I'm taking you to the bar with the oldest liquor license in Wrigley, a bar with a beer barrel for a front entrance, and my personal favorite bar in Chicago. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Today I'm taking you guys to Lakeview's best dive bars. But real quick before we get into this long day of day drinking, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because next week I'm taking you guys along for a day in the life of video where I'm judging a chili cook-off with the founder of Goose Island and the guy who started Peace Pizza and a bunch of other fun stuff along the way. But enough yapping, we have 6 bars we're heading to today, so let's get into the handshakes and dive bars.
Hey Corey, good stuff online.
Hey, appreciate ya.
Did you guys hear that? That guy right there, he said, hey Corey, good stuff online. Thanks, fan. I love that. All right, back to getting to the first bar. Well, we've got a full day of drinking, so we better get started early. The first spot we're heading to is damn near at the end of my block, so I don't have much time for the voiceover. But who wants to listen to me yap when we've got beers to get to? So let's get to Dram. All right, guys, we are at the first dive bar of the day, Dram Shop. One of my all-time favorite spots in the neighborhood. Excited to take you in there.
But in a normal sort of way.
Dram Shop. This spot is truly my home away from home. If I'm in the mood for a beer, there's a good chance this is where I'm having it. Dram's got my favorite bartenders and my favorite clientele, and if you want to start drinking early, this place has your back with their 7 a.m. opening time. I once asked the owner Larry about their hours of operation, and he told me he wants to keep the place open every hour they're legally allowed to, and that's the exact type of answer I expect from a great dive bar. Alright guys, we're at the first spot, my all-time favorite neighborhood bar. Slamming a little old style. Dude, such a classic. Okay, so Dram's at 3040 North Broadway. Literally the closest bar to my house. Owner is Larry, one of my favorite people. He owns this and Muse. You guys have seen Muse a bunch of times. That was where I had the after party for the Laugh Factory show that I used to run with my buddy Zach. I was always at Muse. Larry was super cool about that, gave us a really good deal. Getting people cheap beers on show night. Dram is like, just atmosphere-wise, it's like the kind of a perfectly small bar. To me, I mean, you guys know, I'm a huge dive bar guy. That's really exclusively what I'm going to if it's by my choice. Great for a couple of reasons. One, you can almost miss it. I mean, the signage is really small. It's on the window. They do have the like old school, old style signage out front, but I mean, it's so thin right next to Stella's. The Taco Burrito House, it's so easy to walk by, which I like because I think you kind of will miss out on a lot of like the Wrigley folks popping in. No offense to them, but just like out of towners and stuff. It's nice that it's like, I feel like it's all locals who really come in here, which I love. I've also met a ton of really cool people in here. It's just got an interesting local clientele. Like, for instance, I've met a commercial airline pilot, not even met, like I regularly hang out with in here, a commercial airline pilot, the general manager of a 3-star Michelin restaurant hangs out in here, or used to. He's been beer free for a year, so he actually hasn't been in here for a while. The general manager and I believe one of the chefs at another great restaurant, favorite of mine, Olavita, and I met them almost exclusively all through my good friend Tyler, who you guys have seen. We featured him. He's the guy who I borrowed art from for that short film that I filmed with my buddy Alex. But yeah, Tyler's an amazing artist. Hanging out with him is one of the main reasons I come to this place. He's a great dude. And this place also has the best bartenders. I'm not talking about like making cocktails. I'm talking about just like interesting, nice, and good to chat with folks. Like really top-notch, one of my favorite spots. Kind of differentiates itself by having all of this interesting art. I mean, take a look at this. You can't tell me that these two pieces aren't super cool. I think they're fascinating. I love them. They also have, and this is one of, if you're asking me what the Corey Wagner deciding facts are and whether or not something's a dive bar, I have a couple qualifiers, and one of them is the bathroom. And this is one of the most divey of dive bathrooms. I mean, classic spot, right? All right, I'm gonna try to make these stops pretty quick and informative because we've got a bunch of different dive bars to hit up today, so I wanna make sure I keep cruising. But real quick before we head to the next spot, I'm gonna do some super thanks shout outs. These are people who've been donating to the channel. So huge shout out to these folks. I still can't believe that people donate to this. It just blows my mind how nice these guys are. So we've got $5 from Jeffrey Schwartz, Derek Boudreau with a $5 super thanks, Paul Hu with a $15 super thanks from Singapore. I think it's Singaporean. It's got a different designator next to it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's Singaporean currency. So huge thanks for that. And then Jeff Schwartz with a $50 Venmo that said this 50 bucks is specifically for beer, so could not have had a better video to give him his little shout out. Cheers to Jeff and everybody else who donated today. Again, it blows me away that you guys donate. You guys know I don't get enough views on these to make a ton of money off the AdSense, so having you guys donate to the channel is massive. It helps so much. If you guys do want to donate, Venmo and PayPal are the way to get the most money into my pocket. You can also do the super thanks on YouTube. YouTube just takes like 30% of it, but I'm appreciative either way. No matter what I can get, I'm so thankful. It's mind-blowing that you guys donate. You have no idea how much you're helping me support me and support the art I'm trying to make, so much appreciated. But we've got more spots to get to, so let's cruise to the next spot. Alright guys, we are at the second spot of the day. It's hard to see because of the light, but Monsignor Murphy's is this wonderful sign up here. Another great bar in the neighborhood. Let's cruise on in there.
Little more sense. Sing me till the sun comes up.
Monsignor Murphy's is heading into their 38th year, and this spot is a classic for so many reasons. There's the amazing sign out front, the free popcorn, the moose head on the way down to the bathroom, and their love of darts. And with all that being said, if you can't find a reason to love this spot, well, I'd be inclined to think that that's a you problem.
Summertime, mama, breaking me down. Wearing that dress, girl, I've seen you.
Okay guys, we are at the second spot, Monsignor Murphy's. Switch it up to High Life, personal favorite of mine. Now, some fun facts about this spot. It's at 3119 North Broadway, so almost directly across the street from Dram. I mean, I don't know, less than 30 yards away, I'd say. Fun fact I found out about this spot online, they watch Jeopardy every single day, 3:30, with volume on. If a bar watches Jeopardy with the sound on, immediately they go up on my list of dive bars. I think that is almost a prerequisite for being a dive bar. Let me rephrase that. Maybe not so much a dive bar as much as a neighborhood bar. There's just something fun about everyone putting that on and playing Jeopardy together with having a few beers. Like, not too often during the week I'm having beers at a place like that, but it's a legit move. Definitely known for their darts. You can kind of tell back there that they're taking it serious. You see all the dart trophies. They're big on their using steel tips, not any of that plastic trash. And another thing that checks off the list of being a dive bar essential, the free popcorn. And I should have said this about Dram, but neither of these places serve food, so they're cool with bringing in outside food. And these like local spots, they got menus up at the bar if you want. Flub-a-Dub Chubs is one of my all-time favorite little spots. It's the little like downstairs place right next to this. Great hot dogs. The owner's amazing. She's an ex-school teacher. They've also got a really, I think it's cool, little like elevated front porch. And then they've got a back patio area. Heavily golf themed, by the way, in the back patio. I've always thought like, I should probably bring my pops in here. Both him and my mom are big golf folks, so I think they dig that little back patio area. And something I didn't learn online, but I'm looking at right now, looks like Dave Matthews has been here from Dave Matthews Band. Go figure, huh? And maybe I shouldn't be surprised by that because of the signed like guitars here from Chuck Berry. And then this one's signed by Jimmy Page and Neil Young and Slash and Eric Clapton. Like that's crazy. But all right, great spot. We got more to get to, so let's cruise on over to the next spot. A legendary spot in the neighborhood. One of the most unique and recognizable entranceways to a bar in the entire city of Chicago. We're cruising to Friar Tuck's right after I finish my High Life, of course.
Like our videos.
Hey, thanks, bro. Doing one today.
All right, man, have a good one.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Dude, what is going on? That's the second dude who I've seen today doing these videos who knows my videos. This second fan that I've ran to on the street. Sorry, this light is a little harsh. That's awesome. These Lakeview videos certainly are helping out. All right, anyways, back to the next bar we're going to. Let's cruise. Now, I'd love to blame this one on the beer, but being that this was only the second bar of the day, I don't think I can really do that just yet. But you'll notice that I'm not heading to Friar Tuck's. Maybe it's because I don't get recognized too often, but that exchange apparently threw me through a loop because I ended up skipping ahead a bar. Oh well, beer's all the same to me, and plus we'll still make our way to Friar Tuck's. That's definitely a place we're not going to want to skip. But for now, we're heading to a bar where I once lost a tooth to a headbutt. We're headed to Parrots. All right, guys, we're at the third spot of the day, Parrots. This is another legendary spot. Another spot I got some fun stories about that involve an old stand-up show of mine. So excited to take you in there, tell you about it. Let's cruise on in.
So seasick and waiting for the stove to red.
Originally owned by Grant O'Hare, who once told a patron asking about the quality of their pizzas that there wasn't a bar serving better frozen pizza in the city. Parrots is the type of place you can count on for a cold beer and a good laugh. With free pool and darts and enough space to bring a party, this place has always been on my list of favorite bars in the neighborhood. This place might not have its original owner, but it definitely still has its original feel. And if you're not falling in love with this spot already, just take yourself a few shots of Malort and you'll get there. Because this place deserves some love.
You're a long distance driver coming round.
Okay guys, we're at another one of my favorite bars, Parrots. I have a long history here. I used to run a stand-up show at the Playground Theater, and we used to have our after parties at Parrots. Awesome, awesome spot. I'm gonna tell you guys some fun facts, but first, real quick, let's knock out this shot of Malort. You guys know it's my favorite shot of all time. Good bottle. Must be one of the ones they did in Florida because that had no horrible aftertaste. You know what? I think it's because it was maybe top of the bottle. The bottom of the barrels where you get all that little silt that sinks to the bottom and makes it gnarly. So here's some fun facts about the spot. Okay, Parrots is at 754 West Wellington. One of the things that this place is most known for is their free pool and darts. Not a ton of places giving it out for free, so love that you can come and play darts and pool here. We're actually in, you can see the dart boards right behind me, and then also we've got the pool table back here. We're back in the kind of pool and dart area. There's actually 4 different areas of this bar. You get the main area where you walk in where they have the actual bar. You've got a second room after that, a little bit smaller, kind of cool, just like a 2 tabletop situation. Then you've got a third space that's like slightly more open than the second space. And then this final room where you've got the pool, the darts, a lot more table room. It's kind of a garden unit. You're not a basement spot, but 2 steps down or so, which I think kind of gives like a cool dive bar vibe. It also, by the way, like I don't know how to bring this up immediately, is the Parrots sign not one of the all-time greatest signs in bar history? I mean, that you throw that on American Pickers, it's getting a pretty penny. That thing's a beauty. I just met the current owner, Dave. Awesome dude, super, super nice guy. Love local owners. I showed up, they were like, oh yeah, Dave's on his way, he lives around the corner, he was here in like 3 minutes. So you know he lives pretty close. And funny story about this place, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, probably hard to see on camera, but I've got I got a dead tooth. I got a gray tooth here, it's just a cap. My buddy AJ Lubecker, we used to run a show together at Playground Theater, and we used to have the after parties at Parrots. They do like a little deal for us, a couple bucks off of beers or something like that. And somehow AJ got into a altercation with my boss's friends, not realizing that it was my boss. So I went to break it up because you can't be fighting my boss. Bad news at work next Monday, and I somehow in the scuffle of trying to break this fight took a headbutt to the tooth. So that's why this bad boy is all cap and plastic. So there's some fun Corey lore for you. So this is right at Wellington and Halstead. So pretty close to the Wellington Brown Line stop. You can walk there pretty quick. And then in terms of kind of the atmosphere here, first off, a lot more space than the other couple of places we went. So this is a great spot if you have kind of a larger party. That's why we would have our after party stand-up shows here. And then also, like, I don't know if you noticed, but the other 2 spots that I went to, like, they had dartboards, but it was a little more cramped, which is fine. Like, it's doable, and to me, like, I kind of like small bars. I think it's cool. But having this big open space just does make things a lot easier. I'll put it to you this way. This is where I celebrated my birthday at a couple years ago, so clearly it's a Corey Wagner favorite. Oh, did you guys hear that? It's 3:30. And this is a bar that has Jeopardy on. Great sign for a dive bar is that they put Jeopardy on with volume. You must have volume. I love that we're hearing it right now. All right, we've got 3 more spots to go. Let's head to our next spot, Friar Tuck's.
I wish you love and happiness. I guess I wish you all the best.
All right, guys, we're at the next spot, Friar Tuck's legendary spot. Look at this cool beer barrel front entrance to this place. Excited to show it to you guys. Legendary spot. Let's cruise on in there.
Cause if you feel just like I did, you probably walk around the block like a little kid.
Friar Tuck's. From the beer barrel entrance to the dark interior and free popcorn, this place has everything I love in a dive bar. And you know this place is awesome when they've got a plaque for folks who have met their future husbands and wives here. And yes, that open slot is a spot for the couple that met here, got married, and got a divorce. And I don't know if anything says dive bar more than knowing you might be meeting your future ex-wife here. Long live Friar Tuck's.
It's like a Christmas card. You decorate a tree.
All right, guys, we got another old style. We're back to the fun stuff. Yep, that's delicious. This one's on draft. So Friar Tuck's is at 3010 North Broadway, right in the meat of all that fun stuff, right by Monsignor Murphy's, right by Dram, that great strip that I tell you guys about all the time, between Diversey and Belmont. Super fun area. It opened in 1970. That means it's been open for 54 years. This is like such a regulars bar. I mean, I at least know for them having a lamb shot, which is this really fun like blow up lamb that you could put a shot in a very curious place and then take the blown up lamb and do your shot. It's a fun thing. They do it for birthdays. This place is just awesome. It's got a great circle bar, which I love. Just the real estate of that type of bar. It ends up opening up a lot of seats. They got a fire going at all times, if you guys can see it. Do you guys see right there? They got a little fire going. And another free popcorn spot. And like I've said before, free popcorn to me is that's a good sign of a good dive bar. They have karaoke. I've been here for a couple karaoke nights. People go hard for karaoke here. It's one of those places they got a lot of different, like, they've got a trivia night, they've got a bingo night. Apparently people go hard for the trivia night here. Their bingo, like, has a maximum of $500 winnings you can take home. I mean, this is just one of my favorite spots in the neighborhood. And in terms of dive bars, it's like my speed. It's a little divier than Parrots and Monsignor Murphy's, kind of right on level with Dram. Dive bars should be dark. They should be gloomy. It's a place to drink old style and hams and high life. Not a place for, no offense to White Claw, but those drinks or cocktails, like, no. I mean, you can get them if you want here, but at the end of the day, when you're talking about dive bars in Lakeview, if you're not talking about Friar Tuck's, then you're missing out. This is one of the all-time legit spots. Absolutely love it. But we got 2 more spots to go to. Let's kick it over to the next spot. We're heading to Joe's on Broadway. And I promise I double checked the schedule. That's where I'm supposed to actually head, so let's get there, huh? Well, I mean, I'm gonna finish this beer first, of course. And this long walk up Broadway from the south side of Lakeview to the north side is a reminder of why I love this neighborhood, and particularly this strip of Broadway. Instead of walking past a line of global company chains like there seems to be in most places nowadays, I'm walking through a sea of locally owned businesses. And that's one of the things I love most about this neighborhood. Alright guys, we're at the next spot, Joe's on Broadway. Awesome spot. Excited to take you in there. Let's cruise on in. Any place with that classic old school tile lining the floor is a place that's going to get a lot of respect from me. Joe's on Broadway might be small in space, but it's big in neighborhood vibe. This is the type of place that somehow is close to Wrigley Field, but seems to only actually get neighborhood folks coming through its doors, and that is exactly what I love about a place like this. Guys, we're at the next spot, Joe's on Broadway. We're drinking a delicious old style. You can't beat it. And this place is awesome. Wildly close to where I used to live. I lived on Brompton, so you can't really see it. I'll take the ISO down. That's a Salvation Army officer training school, which who knew that Salvation Army had actual officers training? But I lived in Brompton right there. But let me give you some fun Joe's on Broadway fun facts. Joe's on Broadway is at 3563 North Broadway. But the bartender just told me they've had the same owner for coming up on 50 years, which is incredible that Joe's owned this place for that long. And the reason, if you guys saw in the B-roll, a bunch of like marlin and fish and stuff like that. And talking to the bartender, it sounds like essentially a bunch of regulars who would hang out here would come up with fun like travel ideas, and they would travel to places like Florida or whatever. This place is also wildly close to Wrigley. I can literally see the stadium from where I'm sitting. So Joe's is at Broadway and Addison, at the corner of Broadway and Addison. So 2 blocks east of Wrigley, and you're at Joe's on Broadway. In my opinion, there's only 2 bars near Wrigley that are considered dive bars. Most bars around Wrigley aren't really dive bar bars. There's Joe's on Broadway's, and there's the bar we're going to next, Nissi Lounge. You can also throw Yaxie's in there. I like Yaxie's a lot. This place is awesome though. Very, very small, which is a good sign for a dive bar. And it's kind of got this interesting where it's like sectioned off, where you have, because of the size of it, they kind of like, it forces you into sectioning the bar. You have kind of this section, which is like the window section area, and then it turns the corner back there, there's another section. I mean, that's it, that's the bar. That and one more area of the bar, the bathroom. And the bathroom here, to get to it, you've got to walk past a couple kegs. You know what? I'll just show you. Let's go into the bathroom and check it out, and then we'll walk back, and you'll walk past all the kind of interesting stuff. But it's got a lot of classics for the bathroom. So let me show you real quick. Guys, is this one of the best dive bar bathrooms of all time? I mean, we've got the classic roll into itself paper towel roll, classic tile, and we've got the mirror on the bathroom towel roll. This is what a dive bar bathroom should look like. You don't get much more dive bar than that. This place is goated. This is up there with one of the longest continuously owned bars in the neighborhood, point blank period. So must check out spot, guys. Must check out spot. But we've got one more spot to head to. Let's cruise to Nissi Lounge. Of course, after we finish our wonderful old style. And as the sun sets, we're heading towards Wrigley, an area generally lined with loud, obnoxious bros and overpriced beers. But there's a few oasis watering holes, and I'm excited to take you to one of my favorites.
Driving glow for a root beer flow. It's okay if we lose.
All right, guys, last bar for the night, Nissi Lounge. You can't see it on the old style sign so much, but you can see it on the plywood board. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is one of the most legendary bars in Wrigleyville. Excited to tell you about it. Let's cruise on in there.
This is a life worth living.
Known for its consumption of Malort, Nissi Lounge is perfect for lovers of dive bars. Whether you're looking for a place to play pool, throw some darts, or enjoy a cigarette while the L train flies by, Nissi Lounge has got you covered. Established in 1971 by second-generation Japanese immigrants, which is more or less what the name Nissi means, you can feel the age in a place like this. And I, for one, I'm here for a place like that.
Yeah, I keep the beer cold. I'm the senior vice president of keeping the beer cold over here.
I mean, that's an important gig.
Somebody got to hold the homies down there.
All right, I'm getting ready to pop over here and do a little fun facts, but my guy Jay over here, he vouched for me for a nice, delicious Malort, so gotta throw some love out to Jay. Much appreciated, brother.
Good to see you, Corey.
If you're at Nissi Lounge, you gotta do Malort. That's the #1 rule. That's my second good bottle of the day. That's not a bad bottle.
It didn't give you the Harlem shakes?
It didn't give me the shakes.
The Malort shakes, yeah.
I had one at Harrots, the best Malort I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's a variance. There's a variance of Malort that's higher than others. All right, guys, I'm gonna give you some Nissi Lounge fun facts. I'm gonna pop over so I'm not bothering all the pool players and everybody. But all right, fun facts cometh. All right, guys, we're at Nissi Lounge. We've got the tall boy, delicious, delicious tall boy of old style. What an absolute beauty. So Nissi Lounge is at 3439 North Sheffield. This is one of the only true dive bars in Wrigleyville, at least by my definition. Absolutely obsessed with this place. It's 100% a Malort bar, which you guys know my love for Malort, and the history gets even cooler. First off, Nissi was a phrase for that second generation community. Also, they think that this place became the Nissi Lounge because they would call these Japanese American World War II fighters Nissi fighters, and they think that that might be where the name came from. Also, this is Wrigleyville's oldest dive bar and oldest continuous liquor license. Another fun fact about this spot, it is well known for being, generally speaking, this is the largest seller of Malort in Chicago. Now, of course, I'm sure maybe not every year, but on average, no one's selling more Malort than Nissi Lounge, and that's incredible. That's why I had to snag some Malort right out of the gates. It really is a fantastic, fantastic bar. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it though. That's it for the dive bars today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Coming next week with more fun stuff. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Long distance van driving in the waning day, feeling absolute heartache